No friends in the industry, my brothers. This is my brothers, man. You niggas no kin to me. Niggas on that before the app.
For the app.
This shit
For
said
the app.
error occurred. Wait a minute. I think it's because we both on, so you might have to hit the go live. We both signed to the same thing. No, Twitter acting. No. Nigga, try to hit go live.
I think it's the Twitch, bro. I think we good. We live. I think it's the Twitch that's messing up.
We live. I think everybody's seeing that right now.
Okay, man. Twitch messing over there.
Hey, man, fuck them on sauce up.
I know. What's good, Brodies and Babes? This is the Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. This is the redraft episode, week 5, baby. We just came to recap that, man. It's a heck of a week, man. Vic, I lost some major players again on my team, bro. It's starting to hurt. But when it comes to injuries, man, we like to give the real life sympathy, man. So speedy recovery to all the guys we're going to talk about today and all the guys that already went down in these past few weeks. Get back, get healthy, get on my team. I need y'all to win. But this is where you come for your fantasy football needs and top it up about the latest NFL news. I am Dynasty Bro Dot here with my co-bro.
You got Dynasty Bro Vic, a.k.a. Chief Sosa. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you good, boy. Sure. Hey, we're going to try to keep that same sauce remote. You want to, I don't know if we supposed to shed light on your personal business like that. But
I ain't tripping, bro. Let's talk about it.
You want to tell why we got to do remote today, bro? Let's go into. Hey, first of all, let me say this. Vic called me. Not going to tell about all the other stuff. We talked. We both had some personal stuff to catch up on. So, like, that was early in the morning, bro. We got off the phone at like 9, 10 o'clock. Thought we put all the personal under the table. I called Vic around like 1, 2 just to make sure the day done progressed and everything and got everything straight. Vic like, man, we might have to record remote. I'm like, damn, bro, what's wrong? He hit me with a situation he been dealing with since last night. So Vic, tell the good people about the situation you've been dealing with last night, man.
Bro, I'm walking Louis. It's his last walk for the night. And we coming back and I see a red-nosed pit crossing the street in the distance, a stray. So we peel, behind my house, whatever. Louis get excited just for seeing dogs in general. So I'm trying to work on him just being more alert with like potential danger, potential issues. Like you gotta move. It's not playtime. So I go around back. Yeah. But I go around back. Basically, I'm like, okay, let me go in through the garage. Can't go in through the front door. So of course, by the time I get to the garage, put the code in, I'm meted by the guest. So Red Nose Pit meet me there. So it's actually a female. She walks in the garage too. Louis excited. So I had to basically rush Louis in the house, and then I'm in the garage with the pit. And she didn't want to leave, man. So of course I try to, get her some water, get her some treats, just to entice her, but that didn't work. And then she sat down, and basically had to pick her up, man, and remove her, and have wifey close the garage behind me. So that's what went down, bro. She basically slept out all night, and literally about an hour ago, animal control just picked her up. So I didn't want to keep taking too many chances with a stray. I didn't want to, risk getting bit or anything like that. But I mean, she seems cool, she seems friendly, but I ain't want a chance anymore. So I literally couldn't leave my house. Like if I raise the garage, the dog's gonna re-enter. So that's what happened.
I would want to stay at Vic's house too. He giving away free water, free snacks. I don't blame the dog for chilling out.
Good.
Shit, I ain't had a snack.
You know what I mean?
Vic wasn't even gonna bring me no snack. We've been brothers for years, man. Damn. But nah, let's get into it, man. I know we're a little bit behind on what we like to usually be, but what we're gonna do is recap the top performers going into the week, talk about some injuries, and always gonna do the 4-minute offense, letting you know who you should pick up and drop. Like I said, we got a couple major guys that be good this week. So let's get straight to it, bro.
Yeah, man. So shout out to the top performers, man. Let's look at the QB. So, hey, my guy right here, Justin Herbert, man. So he had the top performers at the QB spot. He put up 398 yards, 4 touchdowns, and from a fantasy perspective, put up 42 points. Big game against the Cleveland Browns. That was a shootout, bro. Like they were going back and forth. But clearly we saw at the end, it basically came down to who had the ball last. But even though I trust that Justin Herbert more than a Baker, to close it out. But he looked good out there, man. So what are your thoughts on Justin?
Justin's been looking fire, bro. Since he took over the reins last year, man, he's just been progressing and keep on getting better, looking more confident, man, just flinging that ball to his trusted weapons, bro. Shout out to Justin.
All right, bro. Next, I want to get into number 2 performance, a guy who knocked off my Colts, man, on Monday Night Football. So that definitely hurt, man. But Mr. Lamar Jackson, bro, he had a wonderful game, fantastic. So he basically set some records. Almost lost my mic there, but pretty much he completed 37 of 43 pass attempts for 442 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he basically walked away with 41 fantasy points, man. So he had a big game. He was pretty efficient. I believe he was 86% on passing, so he just set a record there. So I know a lot of people knocked him for, his accuracy and throwing, but that was a statement game, at least in that department.
Nigga, them is college football numbers. Like when you playing against a badass team, like shit, bro. I went 40 or 45, 400 yards. Like them's college game numbers, bro. He was fucking the Colts up in the second half.
Some fucking Madden numbers and shit.
Big facts.
Yeah, bro, definitely.
Reason I lost this week.
Yeah, some niggas took spells off that Monday night.
Did he set a
game.
record just with the second half? Because I'm telling you, in the first half, he had 1 fantasy point. That's what I'm saying.
So he set the NFL record for completion percentage for having over 400 yards. So he set the record with having an 86% completion percentage for throwing 400 yards and at least having 40 pass attempts. So shout out to Shefty. Yeah. Hell of a game. Hey, let's talk about another guy, man, that's also balling out, Tom Brady, man. He's doing whatever the fuck you want to do out there. I mean, he looked like he's not aging. Like he's on the back end of his career, but he looked like he's elevating his game to another level. So this guy threw for 400 yards, 5 touchdowns against Miami. He put up 37 fantasy points. Another big day for Tom Brady.
Ain't nothing else to say about the GOAT, bro. We can just move on to the fourth performance.
I do want to say this. That's a reminder. I'm sticking to my late QB, man, because I was able to get Tom Brady in like the 7th or 8th round. So I think I'm going back to my late QB, not this third round QB. Bro.
I got Jalen Hurts everywhere in redraft, stupidly.
Yeah.
Stick to your guns, bro. Get your value in them early rounds.
You're right, bro. All right, man. Let's talk about the number 4 performance, Josh Allen, man. So he actually had a big game against the Chiefs. So 315 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. And he also carried the ball 11 times for 59 yards, 1 TD on the ground, finished with 36 points, man. And look, I think we got the blueprint, at least on how to beat these Chiefs. So, of course, we kind of started to see the blueprint on defense, like how you play them. So, of course, they just dropped everybody back, rush 4, similar to what the Bucs did. But let's talk about the blueprint on offense. Hey, you got to let your QB use his legs, man. So if you're going to drop back and cover all my weapons, you got to count for the QB.
Yeah, it really works for. He basically showed them what to do when you have an offense like that, because if you're going to just drop coverage back to stop my players and my running game ain't efficient, you got to scheme up plays for the quarterback if they can move. So that's what the Bills did for Josh Allen, which I don't think, Mahomes can make moves on his own, but you got to scheme up those kind of plays, especially if you're just going to play the quarterback and the whole team in coverage. And that's what they did, bro. Josh looked good.
Yeah, bro, it was a great game. And then let's talk about the number 5 performance, Jameis Winston down there in New Orleans. So he actually, they're really, not letting him really get loose too much, but he's basically throwing the ball, like 30 times a game. But at least this past week against Washington, he had 279 passing yards, 4 passing TDs. He was able to even get a, late touchdown in there right before the half off that Hail Mary. So he was the number 5 performer with 25 fantasy points, man. What are your thoughts on Jameis this year in redraft?
He should be able to average 100 yards off top just to Kamara. They should scheme up enough plays to Kamara to be able to at least that can be his ground floor no matter what. And you can figure it out until you get your best weapon back in Michael Thomas. I don't know. He's so up and down because I don't think they want to put the ball in his hands to just throw the ball too much. So he's going to have these big games, but it's going to be so unreliable because I don't think he has the green light from Sean Payton.
I agree, bro. They're trying to limit his turnovers, so he's going to at least get you 1 or 2 a game, but that's why they want to make sure, hey, let's take the ball out of his hands, and we'll let you take your occasional shots.
Facts.
All right, bro. I do want to shout out Davis Mills. Want to spend too much time there, but he's number 6 performer, so that's a guy you probably can still get off waivers, so I just want to shout him out, stepping in for Deshaun.
You can get off waivers. Not probably. You can. If somebody had him roster and redraft, inbox him and be like, bro, what was your thought process before this week? And just see what they say. It'd be interesting to hear.
Just to trust it. All right, bro. Let's get into these running backs, man. So the number 1 performance, Austin Eckler. Again, we saw that high-scoring game, Chargers against the Browns. So he actually carried the ball 17 times for 66 yards. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Hey, we all know he does his, a lot of damage in the passing game. So he was able to get a touchdown there. 32 fantasy points this week.
He's a baller, bro. The way he's involved, You can't stop it, bro. You can't stop it when you got two dominant receivers. You got good tight end play and a dominant quarterback, bro. You can't just cover him because he runs and he catches like a receiver. He's just awesome, bro. Awesome.
All right, let's talk about my guy, man, Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. Like, look, man, he looked good early on. I thought we was gonna bring home the W. Of course, on the ground game, they got him 15 carries. You got to establish the run, but Baltimore did a good job of, keeping him contained. So he's only able to manage 53 yards, but he did most of his damage in the passing game. So he caught 3 passes, over 100 yards. He even had a touchdown. He had a big run, man. So there you go. I mean, when you go in there knowing you're going to hand the ball off to JT, but you can't forget about his pass catching ability. That's what you get. You get a big 60-plus yarder run and a touchdown. So he's the number 2 performer with 31 points.
He that guy. We don't even got to stay on him. Shout out to him.
Yeah. All right, bro. A guy who also tied for second with Jonathan Taylor, Myles Gaskins. So this is a guy who's been a little bit up and down, but he did most of his damage this week in the passing game. So he went 10 for 10, had 10 catches for 74 yards, 2 touchdowns, 31 points as well on the week. So it's good to see him getting back involved, man, in that Miami offense.
I think they're in a situation where Jacoby's not going to be the guy to throw downfield. He's never been that. So if they can find a guy that can dink and dunk too, which we know Gaskins has that ability, I think he'll be able to do it. They just got to trust it and just honestly use him like that. Even when Tua comes back and is ready, that should just be a part of their offense because it was last year. Very fluent.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the number 4 performance, Derrick Henry out of Jacksonville. You already know whenever the Titans play Jacksonville, it's the Derrick Henry show, and they showed, man. So 29 carries, 129 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So workhorse situation, another 31-point fantasy performance.
You could just pencil that shit in for 100 yards against Jacksonville, no matter what. You can almost pencil him in for 100 yards every game, but Jacksonville, you damn near want to pencil him in 150. You feel me? Every year.
I feel that. All right, man, then let's wrap up the running back. So Alvin Kamara, man, again, this was a guy who was having a slow start, but it's good to see him have a top 5 finish against Washington. So, of course, he carried the ball 16 times, like we talked about earlier. New Orleans wants to run the ball, take the ball out of Jameis' hands. So we're not used to seeing Kamara get that many carries. So he was able to carry the ball there, 71 yards. And then he also did damage in the passing game. So he caught 5 passes on 8 targets for 51 yards and a touchdown. So he had 29 points on the week.
Make sure that Jameis keeps getting those efficient passes to Kamara. It just helps the flow of the offense down the field. He's that talented.
Yep. And shout out to everybody who had Alexander Madison stepping in for Dalvin Cook. So that's the type of handcuff you want. So,
and shout out to like Samaje P. Ryan stepping in. He had a pretty decent game. That was pretty fire, to be honest.
Yeah, Devontae Booker as well.
Devontae Booker showed the fuck out.
All right, man, that's a good transition. Speaking of Devontae's number 1 finish, Devontae Adams, man. So that's our guy, wide receiver for the Packers. 11 catches, 206 yards, bro. Like, it was just a monster game. He had a touchdown, 37 fantasy points. Like, that's the Devontae Adams we know.
Take off on him, Adams. Take off on him. Echo. I ain't going to. Yep.
Fire. All right, man, let's talk about the number 2 wide receiver in fantasy right now, Mr. Mike Williams, a wide receiver for the LA Chargers, bro. He's been balling too. 18 catches on 16 targets, 2 big touchdowns, 165 yards. It's like Herbert just launches the ball. It goes off screen, and you see Mike Williams.
What did he have again?
He had 8 catches on 16 targets, and he had 165 yards for 2 touchdowns.
That man's a dog, bro.
He is, bro. So 36 fantasy points. He's the number 2 receiver right now in fantasy football. So hell of a value play right there. I'm sure people got him late in their drafts.
That's why you get late QB even later, because you can still take your shot on guys like this, man. Imagine if in the 6th round you miss out on a guy like IU. He's not having the best season yet, but Mike Williams roll around in that 7th round instead of taking a QB. You right there took Mike Williams, and he's your wide receiver 1, playing along with all the other guys you drafted before him, man. Just hell of a play, bro. Hell of a play.
All right, man. Let's talk about a guy who beat up on my coach last night, Mr. Hollywood Brown. 9 catches on 10 targets, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, 33 fantasy points, man. Hey, I'll be honest, bro. I'll be the first to admit I was moving off Hollywood last year. I might have to put my foot in my mouth, man. So not afraid to acknowledge when a guy is doing great. Even when, I was pivoting. So, again, just like DJ Moore, he got me on notice. Hollywood got me back on notice. But I will say this. Curious to see what he looks like with the Rashad Bateman coming back. But at the end of the day, I mean, they scheme up Hollywood, so he's going to make his plays.
it pisses me off because last year was my buy Hollywood year. I literally did everything, had them on a majority of my teams. When they drafted Rashad, I kind of sold sometimes a little bit, probably sold lower than what I really wanted to. Kind of makes me sad, but last year I bought all the Hollywood I could. Everybody was all out on him, and I kind of sold when they got Bateman. But I'm glad to see him take off, man. He's a talented dude, bro, to be honest.
He is, bro. He is. Shout out to him. All right, number 4 performance. Hey, Mr. O-Reliable, AB Antonio Brown. Big performance for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against Miami. You kind of figured he'd ball out. He's basically at home, right in the backyard. He's from the Miami area, so he has 7 catches, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns, 31 points from a fantasy perspective.
They said he was over, Vic.
I was nervous, man, but hey, I saw a NFL meme floating around. It's like, AB was right, man. I mean, look at the Steelers. You got Juju out. And then, of course, you know, they're not doing so great right now. And then the whole John Gruden situation with the Raiders, it was like, bro just needed somebody to listen to him. So shout out to AB, man. Staying ahead of the curve, bro.
He got away. He got away and got him a ring. Ain't that some shit?
And Josh McDaniels still fuck with him, bro. Like, even when he hugged him last week, he was like, hey, Josh was like, I still love you, man. So looks like he could always go back to New England if Josh had to say so.
Facts.
All right, man. And then let's close it out, man. Number 5 performance. One of the guys who I was pounding the table for to start this week, Kadarius Toney, rookie for the New York Giants. Basically, he's out of Florida, but he had a monster game. 10 catches on 13 targets, 189 yards. He had 29 fantasy points, and he also got a punch in, bro. So I don't know what that was about. I actually didn't see the punch. I got to go back and watch that. But we already know that's a rivalry game there between the Cowboys and the Giants.
And we shout ourselves out. Can we shout ourselves out because he had his first blow up? You know, I'm here last week, but the week before that, when Sterling went out and Slayton went out, me and you went this 4-minute offense. Hey, they drafted a guy early as hell in the draft. I know it looked like he was buried. Pick this dude up because you never know what's gonna happen. Slayton's still out, Shepard's still out. We'll talk about Galladay in a minute. You know what Ingram does, bro. He's the only guy there, and he's balling. They took him early enough, which means they want to play him, and they're kind of forced to show what they did in drafting the guy, and he's showing up right now. So, shout out! That's me giving us our props too.
That's dope, man.
Attention to it.
Fire, bro, and he looks like a raw AB out there, just a PPR monster, and you know, as far as being raw, like him and Jamar Chase are still kind of raw, but once they get polished, get a little more comfortable with the pro level, they're gonna be nice, bro. So it was good to see, man. Like, you know, that's a guy who I was definitely interested in. You know, early second rounds from a dynasty perspective, and all over him in redraft. So you could probably still get some Kadarius Toney even tonight.
Facts.
All right, man. And I do want to shout out Jamar Chase, 5 touchdowns in 5 weeks. Your guy's balling, man. For the Bengals.
True that. Shout out to him.
All right, bro. Let's get to these tight ends, man. So, Mr. Mark Andrews, man, I thought I had some dubs locked up, but here come Mark Andrews putting up a 41-point performance on Monday night. Still in the dub, but I will say this. So I know we talked about Mark Andrews last week on the dynasty side when we planted our flags, but at least on the keep trade cut. So Mark Andrews is one of my keeps, man, and this is why, bro. Like, again, he gets yardage and trunks. So 11 catches, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, bro. Like, that's just what Mark Andrews does, man.
And I ain't gonna lie, he was my trade because I feel like out of all the tight ends we named, he held the most value, more value than TJ. So give me TJ. Hockenson is still having a hell of a season in itself, having a little bit more consistency compared to all the other tight ends we did last week. I mean, it just is what it is, but this is the potential he has. And I think we spoke about this a couple weeks ago, like him being a trade for a target. Because if you got some of these other tight ends that are blowing up, they don't have this kind of upside. So I think we actually told the people to go trade for him right now while he's down.
Yep, that's true. All right, man. The number 2 performance. Let me know, man. Is this still your guy, David Njoku, tight end for the Browns?
Yeah, I still like him. He's still crazy athletic, still crazy talented. I don't know if it was a head case thing, him against the coaches, but I feel like you put him out there, he's raw. He can just play. You just got to let him play. I feel like they did anything and everything to bury him and not let him play. They went pay to Austin Hooper, drafted
Harrison Bryant.
It's like, that's who they want to run. But if you look at the most talented, skilled athletes out there, it's him, bro. And I know there's some teams that would love to have him. They need to do something with him. He asked to be traded last year and they're just the team. And then he had a week like this. It's like, bro, play me.
And he had a hell of a game, bro. Caught all of his targets, which was 7. So 7 for 7. And he had 149 yards and a touchdown. Like, that's the David Njoku we would expect to see week in, week out. But of course, we all know the Browns like to run the football. So that's not really their game to really, throw it around like that. But when you're in a shootout with the Chargers, you had no choice. So that's why David Njoku was able to flash like that. But 27 points on the week, and that actually moved him up to the tight end 13 spot. So I wouldn't expect that every week.
Nah, because they're a run first team. Eventually, they'll get Jarvis back. He's not the main starter. Hooper will be playing. There's just a lot going on.
Yeah, bro. All right, let's get into the number 3 performance, man. Our guy, Kyle Pitts, rookie out of Florida, who plays for the Atlanta Falcons. 9 catches on 10 targets, 119 yards, and he had a touchdown. So he actually had 26 points on the week. And this is how we would like to see Kyle Pitts be utilized week to week. So we know Ridley was out. We also know, like, Russell Gage was out. So a lot of guys are banged up. Yeah, bro. But at the end of the day, like, you got to get your number 1 pick going early and keep him involved.
And really, it felt like he was force-fed the ball because he had no other options. It should be easier to get him involved when you have a talent like Calvin Ridley on the outside and has to be focused on so much. It's just like, get it together, feature this guy, or unless you wasted a draft pick drafting a tight end that early, if not going to feature him like they did this week. Get it together, Atlanta. Don't be boneheaded.
Yeah, shout out to Cal getting his first NFL touchdown. Many more to come. Can't wait to see it. Number 4 performance, man. Dawson Knox, man. This is a guy who I've been watching, and look, he's starting to get regularly involved for the Buffalo Bills. So, of course, he was heavily involved against Kansas City Sunday night. 3 catches, 117 yards and a touchdown. That gave him 20 points. And as you guys saw, man, 75 yards up the sideline. Josh Allen was pointing like, hey, you beat Sorensen, keep going down the field. So there you go. You saw him launch that bomb.
Yeah, that's that chemistry, bro. They got that shit. You want a guy the quarterback chemistry with.
Yeah, bro. I like it. And then let's wrap it up, man. Number 5 performance, Hunter Henry. So he's been off to a slow start, but every week as the season's progressed, he's been getting better and better from a fantasy perspective and just from getting more involved in the system. Brady's coming up from the Chargers. 6 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. So 19 points against Houston from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, I think he's actually getting more acclimated to the system, man, coming back from his injury, just probably feeling a little healthier. So I think both of those tight ends are going to be good plays. It's just going to be hard. I don't know if they're going to be good consistently. But week to week, one of them are going to be good. That's my opinion. Him or Janu.
All right, bro. Let's speak ahead, man. So this Thursday night, we got Tampa Bay at the Eagles. Gronk is going to be out again, so keep that in mind. Some running backs I might be considering playing. I'm looking at Rojo, but I think Giovanni Bernard might be a nice play, given us a short week with Leonard Fournette. So I'm sure they're going to want to spread the workload out a little bit more, just to help the guys out on a short week. So something to watch for, man. Who you checking for this Thursday game? Bucks and Eagles.
AB. I'm just playing. Nah, it's just interesting seeing AB still do it. But Jalen Hurts, I kind of want to see Cam Gainwell. I'm seeing him get involved and see like what he's going to be doing throughout the year, because there's a world where he's the most talented guy in that backfield. And if they finally see that, I'm interested to see what they do with that offense going forward with him.
You already know I want to see my guy Smitty go off on Thursday. So we're looking for that. Looks like we got another game in the UK. So we got Miami and Jacksonville. So that's a 9:30 kickoff. So make sure you set your lineups early if you got any of those players. And then just looking at Sunday night, let me scroll. We got Seattle at Pittsburgh. That's going to be interesting. So there's no Russell Wilson. So Geno Smith on the road going up against a Big Ben. That's a winnable matchup for them on the road, even without a Russell Wilson. So curious to see, how that plays out. But I'm watching Najee, bro. That's who I'm there tuned in to see.
Facts.
All right, then let's wrap it up. I'll go ahead.
No. You go.
I was going to close it out Monday night. Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. So, yeah, man. I mean, I'm expecting Buffalo to keep on rolling, bro. So
that's cool. I got some injuries to talk about.
Let's talk them.
Clyde Edwards, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was ruled out the game in the third quarter and had an apparent injury. You gotta pay attention to that. It looked like Tyre had a random ass knee injury and Kelsey had a stinger, but both of them playing. Joe Burrow, man, I read it. It scared the hell out of me. It said he had a throat contusion. That's why he was rushed to the hospital. Don't that shit sound scary hearing that shit?
It do, but that hit was scary too. He basically got high load on that hit.
Facts. Did you see Saquon ankle after he rolled his shit?
Bro, it's like you put this next to his ankle, bro. It was a fist / knuckles. Knuckle sandwich on his ankle, bro.
Daniel Jones left with a concussion. Kenny Galladay, another situation, bro. Banged up with his knee. That's been the story of his the past couple scenes for him. So Kadarius could have another major role. And then, like you said, Russell Wilson. We already talked about that a little bit. So those are the main injuries for this week, bro.
All right, bro. You ready to get into this 4-minute offense?
Yep, I'm going to bring up the timer right now. I know. I'm about to get to it right now.
Hey, before we do that, man, DJ Avo, where can the people follow you at, DJ?
You can follow me at DJ Avo Love on the gram or Avo Love on the gram. Follow me on the Twitch at Dynasty Bro Avo. Make sure you follow the Dynasty Bro page on Twitch because your boy be going live every Tuesday and we be going up. Hey, yo, Dot, where can we follow you at, bro?
Follow me. Got Damian Harris also left with a rib injury, and you know that's my guy, so I got to speak on him. Only because there's another guy about to talk about this next segment. Follow me at DynastyBro on Instagram and Twitter. Follow the main page, DynastyBrosFF on Instagram. Turn it up. Hey, Vic, where can we find you at, my brother? I'm pointing.
You guys can follow me at Chief Social FF. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast where you listen to Dynasty Bros FF and join the Patreon. And also, that's Bros FF. And we got the Discord, man. We got that popping. That's for free. So get your real-time fantasy advice throughout the week. I know a lot of people off to a slow start, man. So now's the time to turn your season around.
Yeah, holla at us about it. We're going to help you change that shit.
All right, let's get into it.
I'm going to check in every minute on the minute, bro, and let you know where we at. Cool.
That's cool.
Let's go right. You start off. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Go, Vic.
Ooh, well, first guy, man, Geno Smith, man. So if you're desperate for a quarterback, and if you punted QB and all your QBs are out, because a lot of QBs are down and out right now, you might be able to stream Geno this week going into Pittsburgh. So I'm not going to spend too much time there. I'm not looking for him to, get you into the playoffs or nothing, but this might be a week-to-week option for right now.
Facts, bro. And let me get into a guy named Daryl Williams, the backup right now in Kansas City. They're hit or miss on the consistency on using running backs, but to say you got the starter that's tied to Pat Mahomes, you love to have that on your team, man. And I don't know what Clyde's injury is, but if he's out or even if 2, that matters to you, man. So go get a guy like Daryl Williams.
All right, man, let's go to Chicago. I got running back for you guys, Khalil Herbert. So I know Damian Williams hit the end zone last week, but Khalil actually had more snaps than Damian. So based on that, man, if you're desperate for a running back play, I don't mind throwing them in as an RB2. I'll just see what shakes out if you're desperate for running backs. Going into Green Bay, they're going to want to run the ball, bro.
They are going to run the ball. We're at 2 minutes and 50 seconds, and I'm going to talk about running back for the New York Giants. We just talked about the big-ass ankle injury for Saquon. So Devontae Booker, man, look, he looked good when he came in. We already know that he looked good. He's always getting limited time of play no matter what team he's on, but he looked good running the ball, catching the ball out the backfield. For some reason, Daniel Jones doesn't look the best, but he has the offense clicking sometimes. I don't know. And against a good situation where they had to score a lot of points, I enjoy watching that game. Devontae Booker is going to be heavily involved if Saquon play. And I don't know how long that's going to be. So go get your Devontae Booker, running back for the New York Giants.
All right, man, I got a wide receiver for you guys. Hey, he's looking like a mini PPR monster, man. He actually led the team in targets 2 weeks in a row. So let's go to Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, rookie out of USC. That's Southern California. The Trojans. Again, he's just getting peppered with targets. So he has 7 catches, 65 yards. And, hey, he's looking like he's establishing some rapport with Goff.
Okay. We had 1 minute and 45 seconds. Talk about a guy that Vic was kind of, giving people heads up on when we was in the offseason leading into the season. Mr. Ramondre Stevenson, rookie running back for the New England Patriots. My guy Damian Harris went down with some rib injuries. And I know those running backs for the Patriots can be up and down play. But like I said, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of things. Injury happening. We got an extra game going into the season. got to get those starters if you can get them. So running back Ramondre Stevenson, big power back, fast. I think they could use him. They'll love the way he'll play. Go get him if you need a spot right now.
All right, last guy I'm going to talk, man. Look, this is a guy that should be coming back off injury here pretty soon. And look, let's be honest, man. The Ravens' run game has not been looking good as of lately outside of Lamar Jackson. So he's been forced to throw the ball. He's about to get another weapon back here either this week or the following week. But Rashad Bateman, this is a guy who they took to be their number one pass catcher. So, yeah, if you need some wide receiver help, I'd start looking at him.
All right, 45 seconds, man. You got any random drops, man? A guy that you're tired of, a guy that's been bugging you? Hey, if you ain't got Michael Carter yet, we'll get Michael Carter. I know we done talked about him for the past couple of weeks. It's looking like his role is expanding. They keep giving him the ball down at the red zone, goal line, all of that. So love Michael Carter.
Man,
yeah, 25 seconds.
I might be dropping Rojo, bro. If he can't get in on a short week where they want to rest some other running backs, it might be time to drop Rojo. So he's on the watch list, man. We'll make it official next week.
I told you I was done with Bryan Edwards last week. If you were still holding on to that hope, you can go ahead and trash him too, bro.
And we still not messing with the Texans backfield. So hopefully you guys listen. So I'm good.
2-1. 4-minute offense is up. Look, you know what it is. Thursday, we always get into the redraft episode, the recap, tell you who to get into with this 4-minute offense. We're the Dynasty Bros. Make sure you tune in for the next episode. Right after we do this, we go straight into the Dynasty podcast. So that's what we're going to do. DJ Ava's going to get a little bit hyper. We get a little bit more laid back, chilled, and funnier. And we get y'all with some more Dynasty stuff. So we got a good episode called Heavyweight. So we're going to chime into that. So go ahead, transition. Give us about 5 minutes to move some things around, and we'll be right back. So make sure you tune in. I am Dynasty Bro Dot. This is DJ Avo. That's Vic, a.k.a. Chief Sosa. We the bros, showing you how to dominate your league, Dynasty Bro Style. Avo, do some cool shit and walk us out.
And I'm drinking apple cider, by the way.
Regular apple cider?
Mm-hmm. I do need to get some spice. Right. Good point, bro. Good point. I'm going to fix that.